If you want to see a super simple, super fast way to square off or level off your sawmill without pulling strings, I think I've seen somebody else do this, but let me show you what I do. And to me, it's the simplest and it's the fastest way to level off the bunks on the sawmill. Thanks for watching. If you are new, I am using my entry-level or hobby sawmill on our farm to make a little side income, and I also mill the lumber that I need to build structures such as this that has not been finished. But follow along and learn as we go, and I just want to share my experiences with you guys. I know I'm not the only one who has these problems, so let's try to fix this, and let me know if you guys have these problems as well and what is your fix. First thing I'm going to do is put some of these shims at my cross bracing. It's not ideal, but it will do for now. It's been raining so much lately. I think that's all it is the ground is soft. So I'm going to shim it up a little bit. Maybe make it a little tighter. Once I do this, I'm going to level up the bunks. You're going to want to see how I do this. These shims are obviously temporary. They're just pine. They're not gonna last very long. So I can already tell a little difference. Not much, but a little bit. So now let me show you how I level off this bunk, or this track I should say. Super simple way. And hopefully this will help you guys. But what I use is a laser level, and I have this little T. Now, as you can see, what it does, let me see if I can show you guys pretty easy. I have it set on this first bunk, and I've got a mark here. I'm actually using this one. That's where it is in the center. And if I come, what I'm going to do is come to each side on each bunk, here and here, and look, you can tell, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can tell that this line is a little bit above, you know, the laser level is a little bit above the line, and this one is dead on center. So what that means is this side right here needs to go up a hair to make it level with this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to every bunk and make sure it is within this line right here, and this will actually level this off. So let's go ahead and do that. That's a little high, so I need to bring it lower. And this side right here, it's a little high, I need to bring it lower. And man, look at the difference. Holy cow, look at the difference. But as far as right here, because the mill actually runs back to it, look at that. And on this side, look at that. Look how high, or yeah, look how much higher that is. That's just crazy. Wow, wow. So as you can see, this method is super simple and it's very effective And obviously my sawmill has been off quite a bit. I have noticed with my last cutting that at the very end of my cuts, my board thickness was changing. Not a lot, but it was changing. And I know it's been raining quite a bit, and this was a green wood foundation. It flexes and whatnot, but it's time to level it off again. And that is exactly what we are going to do today. So I've got my laser level set up, and we will start right here on the very first bunk and work our way down that way. So I'm gonna get you pretty close and see if you can watch this line. And then I've got my tools. So I've got this side, the left side, pretty flat, but since the other side is pretty jacked up, and once I do that, I will come back and look at this side, and probably have to make some minor adjustments. But as you can see, just from this side, very first board I showed you earlier, needs a few adjustments. And then if I bring it here to the middle, look how much it jumps. So that's where my biggest problem is right now. It's quite a bit, what, quarter inch, maybe even 3/8. And I'm sure it's the same way on this side. And what I'm doing is I am being consistent. The edge of this board to be with the edge of this, so it's not like over here or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Once I lower this side, that side may be affected, but I will check it again. But let's start fixing this. Super simple. You loosen the bolts and nuts at every bunk. Some of them have 2, and adjust it to where you need it. Although it is a simple process, I have been thinking and looking at possibly upgrading the mills. And for those of you who have had both a stationary mill and one with a trailer package, you know, which do you prefer? Which one is easier to, I guess, level off? Once again, I am using a tough built crossline laser. If you have one, this is a great way to level off your sawmill. And as you can see, right on the dot. Let me come over here a little bit, right in the middle. It is right on the dot. And let me come over here to the end. Right on the dot, and the same way on the other end. I had to come back and adjust this side just a hair, but I expected that. Look at that, right on the dot. And this one right here, right on the dot. So this is an easy way, at least in my opinion, to level off your sawmill track instead of pulling the string line. I have tried the string lines and I just could not get it, not even close, because I may have had it parallel to each other, but I could not get it level, and I could always tell difference. And then once I put a laser on it, it really showed you how much off you are by using a string line. Some people it works, for me it doesn't work. Now that I'm done with this, I've got one more little thing to do, which is adjust these 4 posts or 2 posts on the mill to keep it from shaking so much, but there is no point to me showing you guys how to do this. All it is loosen these bolts and nuts, put these nylon brackets in. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, pass this along, and drop a comment or more, and I will see you at the next video. God bless.